Welcome back to the Circulatory Coding Command Center. Today, we're firing up a high-tech practice session focused entirely on ICD-10 CM Chapter 9. We're going to be diving into practical, real-world coding scenarios for hypertension, stroke, heart disease, and AMI. Precision here doesn't just save claims, right? It accurately tells the patient's true clinical story. So let's jump right into this.
Here is our mission itinerary for today. We'll be tackling hypertension practice, CKD practice, stroke sequela, AMI coding, subsequent AMI, and then we'll wrap it all up with a quick summary.
Section 1. Hypertension practice. The assumed link.
All right, here's our first incoming case. What actually happens if a patient has both hypertension and heart failure? Does the physician have to explicitly document that the heart failure was caused by the hypertension? This is a super common dilemma that trips up so many coders.
Well, according to ICD-10 CM guidelines, we actually assume the link. Step 1. The classification presumes a direct causal relationship between hypertension and heart involvement, unless the doctor specifically says they are unrelated. Step 2. You assign category I11 for hypertensive heart disease. And then step 3, you just add category I50 to identify the specific type of heart failure. It's a really precise sequence that tells the complete clinical story.
Section 2. CKD practice. Staging the disease.
Okay, incoming case number 2. A patient presents with both hypertension and chronic kidney disease, or CKD. Now, just like with the heart, we assume a cause and effect relationship here. But how exactly do we sequence this so we're getting maximum accuracy?
When you're dealing with CKD, staging is an absolutely critical secondary step. In the N18 category, it ranges from stage 1 at N18.1, stage 2 at N18.2, all the way down to stage 5. Just using the hypertensive kidney disease code isn't enough on its own. You have to dig into the documentation and find that specific stage.
So here's our 3-step resolution for this one. Step 1. When hypertension and CKD are both present, we use category I12. Step 2. Add that N18 code for the exact CKD stage. And step 3, and this is a really vital tip, if acute renal failure is also present, you absolutely must assign a separate additional code for it. Never just assume the acute failure is somehow absorbed by the chronic codes, because it definitely isn't.
Section 3. Stroke sequela. Analyzing deficits.
Let's look at our next incoming case. A patient is admitted with deficits from a stroke that happened months or even years ago. So we're obviously no longer in the acute phase. How do we code residual conditions, like hemiplegia, that linger long after that initial phase has passed? For deficits following an old stroke, we turn to category I69. But there's a huge trap here, and that's laterality. If the doctor mentions the affected side but doesn't specify dominance, you have to use the official default guidelines. If the left side is affected, the default is the non-dominant side. If it's the right side, or if the patient is ambidextrous, the default is the dominant side. Never guess on this. Always just apply these exact default rules.
Section 4. AMI coding. STEMI versus NSTEMI.
For type 1 acute MIs, we use the I21 category. But what does acute actually mean in the coding world? Well, according to ICD-10 CM, if it's within 4 weeks, so 28 days or less, from the onset, it's considered acute. As long as we're within that specific time window, we are living in the I21 category.
Now, STEMI cases involve a full artery blockage, and we use codes I21.0 through I21.3 for those. NSTEMI means there's a partial occlusion, which is assigned code I21.4. And here's a crucial rule you really need to remember. If an NSTEMI later evolves into a STEMI, you must assign the STEMI code. The more severe manifestation always overwrites the initial presentation.
Section 5. Subsequent AMI. The 4-week window. Let's map this out carefully. On day 0, if an initial type 1 AMI occurs, we use I21. But what happens if another type 1 AMI hits within 4 weeks of that first one? In that scenario, you have to use category I22. And strictly speaking, this I22 code must always be sequenced alongside the I21 code. Once you cross that 4-week mark, the rules change entirely.
Section 6. Summary. Mission debrief.
All right, here is our mission debrief. Assume the causal link for hypertension with heart or CKD conditions unless documented otherwise, and use combination codes like I11, I12, or I13.
Use category I-69 for stroke sequelae paying close attention to the dominant side. AMI cases within 4 weeks get I-21 codes, and a subsequent type 1 AMI within that exact same window requires an I-22 code.
Great job today completing this Chapter 9 practice session. Like we always say, precision saves lives and it saves claims. Proper sequencing massively improves your coding accuracy. A single missing character in Chapter 9 can completely alter the entire patient narrative. So ask yourself, are your codes telling the true story? Keep practicing and I'll catch you at the next Command Center session.